In a world where the marks think they know better than the wrestlers and the bookers, the Fantasy Booking Institute exists to pretty much do exactly that. This is a visit from the FBI.
This is Dan the Dad, and you should listen to Raw & Order or you're grounded.
Welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Booking Institute. I am your host, Detective Mark Smarks, and I am joined, as always, by my partner in crime fighting, District Attorney Vincent Kayfabe. What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm experiencing buttery goodness.
I'm picking Twizzlers out of my teeth.
So, I mean, this is totally... We're eating Dan the Dad style snacks. You didn't have chocolate. You had a couple Twizzlers. I'm eating crackers.
Twizzlers are fat-free.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean,
crackers are
not that
sugar
free. Fat counts for anything. Anyways. No JLB today. Apparently he got called in for overtime at work, and I don't know, dollar bills more important than this stream, I guess.
Dollar bills, y'all.
And go out to the Montreal strip clubs, and they probably don't make it rain like that. They handed it really nicely. Here you go. Thank you. Sorry you have to do this. Ooh, I just realized something. This is new.
What?
StreamYard just enabled a new feature called background music.
Well, that's not terrifying background music.
Yeah. Oh, there's a bunch of them here. That was just the first one I clicked on.
Maybe we can examine it later.
Yeah, I just got distracted by a shiny new little toy I saw. New? Where did that come from? Okay, we'll stop it. Anyways, that's
not
really
showing
cool.
on my side. Well, it probably is. I'm not.
You're just not in the right spot for it.
It
doesn't give you the ability to upload your own, it looks like. So you have your choice of the 8 or so that it has here. But anyways, you didn't come here to hear us talk about StreamYard, although it is important to note, link in the doobly-doos if you are looking to start live streaming. StreamYard is an excellent way to do it. And if you sign up using our affiliate link, you get $10 and we get some money. So, it helps us both out, So, in the doobly-doos, link to the StreamYard. Sign up for that. Start live streaming yourself. You can multi-stream, depending on which package you have, to a bunch of locations. We currently do 3. So we are live streaming right now on Facebook, on YouTube, and now on Twitch. So wherever you are joining us from, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you here. Welcome to the Fantasy Booking Institute. The rules of the Fantasy Booking Institute are simple. It's we're going to take turns challenging the other to book some unknown and often unlikely scenario in the world of professional wrestling. We do not discuss these in advance because we think it's more fun that way, but really because we're lazy and often don't think it up beforehand. Before we get into all that, I do like to mention right now that Raw & Order is part of the Tatnus Co. podcast network. So you can head in the doobly-doos once we're done with the show. You can head to tatnusco.com. Check out the other shows on the network there. There's some great shows. Tell them we sent you. And then come back here because we live stream twice weekly. Sunday nights at 10:30 and Tuesday nights at 10:30. The Sunday night one is going to be our kind of wrestling recap show. And the Tuesday night one is our fun fantasy booking one. So hopefully we see some of these live streams in the future. If you can't make it to the live streams, the replays are available on YouTube and Facebook, and for a short period of time afterwards on Twitch. I think it's 15 days actually, but it doesn't matter. They're going to stay on YouTube and Facebook, so you can find them there as well. But we'd appreciate you give us a follow on whatever platform you do, or all 3. Makes sense. Great way there. But you can find all the places to listen to it. We also have it as podcast form. So if you're more of an audio person, want to listen to it while you're jogging or whatever, all sorts of places you can listen to it. Apple Podcast, Spotify, wherever. All of those are linked in the Doodly Doos as well. So we'll go ahead and get into the fantasy booking. I always open it up to the floor to see if the others want to go first, or if it is me first.
You think JLB? JLB, you want to go first?
JLB, you want to go first?
JLB?
Oh, yes, I totally want to go first. Okay, JLB is going first.
All right. So I have a little bit longer one.
That's fine.
I want you to, there's only two of us, so I'll go first then.
Okay.
At the beginning of the show, we talk about the unlikely, or I'm sorry, the challenges are unknown and often unlikely. Well, we're going to actually have an often unlikely Royal Rumble. We're not going to try and predict people who will randomly show up. We're going to predict unlikely people to be in Royal Rumble, to have their own Royal Rumble. The key to this is they do have to be people that, if we can't just go with, Kenny Omega. You can't just load it up with AEW stars because they're already contracted there. Now, you can throw in some, but we need to try and be realistic that WWE would pursue said people and would not be violating contracts to do so.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Fair? Would you like to go first or second? Because I looks like I'm playing the role of JLB tonight.
Okay. We'll go first, and I will be the first one to bend the rule but not break it, because there is one person that a name that goes out there that's already been thrown out there as potential and been debunked by a certain Meltzer, whether you believe him or not, I don't know, but that is Cody Rhodes. Unlikely, yes, but he's got a connection to WWE, and that's why I think it doesn't break the rule, it just bends it. He's also currently, reportedly, not under contract.
Correct.
Whether that's a shooter or not, we can talk about later. But
hold on, I'm opening a spreadsheet. Good Lord, it's called Sheets. Where's it at? There it is, Sheets. I don't need a new one. All right. Cody Rhodes. Okay. This will not be in position order. We'll actually let this randomly place our positions for us, and then we can have some fun actually playing the Royal Rumble. So, also unlikely, and not under contract right now. I'm going to go with, well, I guess he did just sign a contract, but it's an indie contract, unless this company is no longer considered indie. Matt Cardona.
Okay. Yeah. As far as I know, he's not actually under a full contract with any one company. He's so
still indie.
Still indie. That's
obviously we're making this a men's Royal Rumble too, which women can show up for, but
yeah, because he's showing up on both Impact and GCW and wherever he kind of wants to. So okay. I trying to think here. What would be? Oh wait, hold on a second. Hey, look, we got our first blocked user of the night. Boom.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, my spreadsheet's going to be in the way. You're going to have to
That's
be
fine.
producer for now.
I just saw it and I was like, hey, let's get rid of that real quick. I think this one might be another one of those sort of bending the rules, but I think sort of not. So I'll let you decide. But that is Brian Cage.
That's probably soon to be a free agent. I mean, I just don't want to live in.
Yeah.
Well, let's just name AEW's roster.
Mm-hmm.
This
Yeah.
isn't an
and that's more or less what I'm trying to do here. This is a wrestler who, as far as we know, is probably going to be a free agent very soon. It's also a wrestler that WWE probably would want to get their hands on, right? So that's what I play that on. So
returning from being let go, John Morrison.
okay. We'll keep on that same same energy there. Braun Strowman. Who to be perfectly honest, if there's a former WWE that was fired in the last 2 years, that I think would be fairly likely to show up, he's pretty high.
That's probably pretty. Yeah, I mean that's actually that's it lands in often unlikely, but it doesn't land entirely in unlikely.
Like I would probably not be super surprised if he showed up.
We are going to break a rule that people are going to get heartbroken about, but we're going to take a legend. This legend is going to be in the often unlikely Royal Rumble. One, The Rock. Capable of doing it. If he was going to come back, he'd come back to WWE. Often unlikely he'll come back for the Royal Rumble in 2022.
I'm trying to decide whether I want to do this one or not because I really don't want to, but I think it makes a lot of sense, especially since apparently he's recently mended bridges with WWE, even though they fired him, and even though he just recently appeared on another promotion, Double J Jeff Jarrett. Listen, he can come in, he can do his whole woohoo, JEFF, JARRETT, all that stuff, and then get eliminated, and maybe El Kabong someone outside the ring afterwards and get the pop. But I don't
like it. I don't like it at all.
No, sir. I don't like it.
No, sir. I don't like it. I am going to go with another indie wrestler, and I am going to type Jonathan Gresham, who I think is highly unlikely. Mm-hmm. I think would be a lot of fun to watch in the Royal Rumble. Twisting people. I think he's that little stacked. He'd get a lot of people over. I don't think he'd win it. But I think that's a really good move for them.
Trying to think where I want to go next. Okay, we're going to stay in the realm of a recently released wrestler. One who really, really, really wants to stay in WWE and has not been able to stay, no matter how hard he tried. But this is going to be a twist because he's not going to show up in his WWE gimmick. We're talking about Rockstar Spud.
It's already on there. Just so you know, I can wait for one.
But it's specifically Spud showing up.
Mm-hmm.
That's the specific thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do an AEW contracted non-wrestler who can wrestle. And he's just so big and powerful, and there's going to be so many people in this that he needs to induct as well into the Hall of Pain. One Mark Henry. That is 10, my friends. We only have 20 to go.
Okay. Well, here's one that's extremely unlikely for lots of reasons. The current one is he's rehabbing a broken leg, so he wouldn't be able to make it to this one. But I think you would not be surprised to hear me say the name Dan. But Danhausen in a Royal Rumble, come out, do a couple of his shticks in there, eventually get eliminated, throw a little fit. It'd be fun.
I'm going to use a person that I think is likely to, at some point in their career, be in WWE. I do not think it will be now. I don't think it'll actually be over the next couple of years. But I just think that there's something about this person that irritates me enough, and the way they cut promos pisses me off enough and annoys me enough that I think that there's absolutely no way this person won't land in WWE at some point. And I know there's a ton of people out there who are thinking, oh, he's going to say MJF. Well, that's just fucking cheating and breaking his own rules. And it's actually not MJF. I cannot fucking stand Sami Callihan. And for that reason, I think he's bound to end up in WWE at some point. So
well, and he does have a WWE connection because he was Jeremiah Crane or whatever. No, Jeremiah Crane wasn't. Anyways, Solomon Crowe. I don't know. He was something down in NXT. I'm blanking on it. I had someone, and then talking about him, I totally blanked. Okay, well, we're gonna match things up. You already have Matt Cardona making an appearance. We're gonna bring his buddy Brian Myers in.
Fair enough. Okay. Everybody's been sitting back, waiting, looking for the opportunity to see this performer show up somewhere. They were recently let go. They show back up in WWE just for a one-off appearance because everybody needs money. Jeff Hardy. You're up.
I'm thinking. Heck, it makes sense. And it only bends a rule slightly. You brought her hubby in, so we're gonna bring in Jordan Grace.
I like it.
She's the powerhouse.
It's that rare, valuable appearance, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think it's time to open that forbidden door. I mean, this is loaded with forbidden doors that are open. I'm talking about the overseas forbidden door. And one Suzuka Okada. I so spelled that wrong. ADA? ADA.
Okada. You know, while we're going overseas, let's bring an Osprey in.
Hey.
Might as well bring some big dogs in, or big birds in.
Big bird. Wow. We're just loading this bad boy up. I'd like to see a Royal Rumble match go a little bit more hardcore than it's ever gone. And so I think suddenly we're going to have Joey Janella. With a bag of Legos.
Okay. We're going to keep it in the hardcore realm with a unlikely, but actually less likely than some of the others, considered he's actually rumored right now. I think it's mostly wishful thinking, but people have been thinking about him ever since Matt Cardona came out wearing a "Fuck Mick Foley" shirt. So we're gonna have it'll come out in Mankind. That'll be the one way to do it, but.
Mick Foley, please do not come back and be in the Royal Rumble after Joey Janela gets in. You can come out, you can be eliminated quickly. Moving forward. Okay, Mick Foley. Wow. This is number 20. Not the 20th entrant, but number 20 on our list. I think now is the time that I remind you that you failed to bring back a guy who you really are excited to see sometime soon, potentially tomorrow, on Johnny Football.
Johnny Manziel?
Sorry, Johnny Wrestling.
Johnny Manziel's going to be my next choice now.
Well, we don't have a celebrity yet, so Johnny Wrestling Gargano. We should throw in a little curveball that we have to have obvious not winning celebrity, because The Rock falls under celebrity, but could win if he was in it. So,
Well, I'll
Like
do a
one for each of us.
I'll do a celebrity choice and an entry or two.
Okay.
But right now, I'm going to hit another thing that we haven't hit in this particular Royal Rumble. And that is the tag teams that will obviously turn on each other at some point. And so here's a guy who currently is a free agent.
Okay.
And currently has been in the Twitter sphere realm. We're gonna bring in Bully Ray or Bubba Ray, and then I'm telegraphing who my next choice will be if he's available.
Yeah. In between the two, going with another retiree, somebody who could very, very, very potentially win this, go to WrestleMania, put on a phenomenal match. Bray Wyatt. Dude, you can come up. You can show up anywhere you want now. We're waiting.
Okay, and just to rip the Band-Aid off, Brother Devon, get the table. In fact, that would actually be a really fun way to eliminate someone. Before they get in, they set up the table on the outside, and then he turns on Bubba Ray and throws him out over the top rope through a table.
Yeah, just get his little comeuppance for saying shit this week. That's fine by me. Also in the highly unlikely category, semi-celebrity but not actual celebrity for me, I am going to bring back Devon's protege, Deacon Batista, who is not retired from wrestling. Dave Batista is, but Deacon is not. I'm getting specific that it's going to be Deacon. I know it's terrible. I'm sorry.
No, I've got an idea. I'm just trying to decide whether I want to actually do it or not.
Are you going to celebrity yet?
Yeah.
There are 5 choices left. I'm sorry, 6.
Yeah. The problem with the celebrity is you kind of want to choose someone that you are okay if they get hurt because they will be going over that top rope. And
well,
I'm not
they can pull a Drew Carey and climb over on their own.
Yep. Well, I will tell you right now, if I say this name, you will see why they probably can't climb over the top rope to escape.
Is there somebody without legs? Because that's fucked up.
Nope. Fuck it. I'm doing it. Peter Dinklage.
Help me out.
Tyrion Lannister. Little guy.
Oh. I think I spelled that right. Anyway. I'm going to let a television show that was just renewed for a 5th season on Netflix have its moment to jump the shark, and we are going to put karate up against professional wrestling. I thought you were going to say something there for a second. And we're going to have one Ralph Macchio.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out whether you were going to go with Annie or Johnny.
Oh, I mean, who do we want to see get hurt worse? If you watch the show, you want to see Ralph Macchio. Really, I mean, I'd love to have it be Sensei Kreese, and I don't know his real name in real life, so.
I'm trying to think if there's another celebrity I want to throw in there just to have a little bit more fun. Here's a good throwaway celebrity. Joey Chestnut.
Joey Chestnut.
If I'm correct, Joey Chestnut. Isn't that the hot dog guy? Hot dog contest guy? Check to be certain. I say that name and then I'm like, is that the right name?
Former Eater X? No, that's not right.
Yep, Joey Chestnut.
Okay.
Former American competitive eater. First in the world by Major League Eating. I honestly didn't know there was a Major League Eating.
Oh. I think it's time to bring back an authority. I think there would be a huge pop for this authority figure showing up. And since they're going to be an authority figure / an entrant in this, hopefully your heart's okay. We're going to have Triple H.
I thought about Triple H earlier. I really did.
But I will say highly unlikely this year.
Yes.
I don't think he's been in his last Rumble. That I will also say.
Yes, as long as his heart gets okay.
Yeah.
I think we need another big guy in here. So I'm going to grab someone who's under contract someplace, but it is someplace that has at least shown they're willing to work a little bit. And that is Moose.
That's on the cusp of that stealing too many people.
Well, the way I argue he is the current Impact World Champion and the current Impact Women's World Champion is actually in the Women's Royal Rumble this year.
Oh, Mickie James, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So they've shown that they're willing to play ball.
So this entire time, have you been like really, really tempted to go like for Karrion Kross, and then you're like, I just don't want to do that to him?
Yeah.
I just don't want to do that to him. So I'm looking through releases that I think maybe there's a future with them still in WWE. And I think I found it. Yeah. All right. So since this is the last entrant into the often highly unlikely Royal Rumble, I believe this will be a great person to have in here. And I'm going to bring Bo Dallas back to Bo Wrestling.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky.
All right, so I have my numbers put on the side, and I am trying to remember how to random number generate this. It is the opposite of sort. How do you do opposite of sort? You know how to do this. You can just tell me.
I gotta be honest, I haven't done it in so long, I don't remember. Give me a second here.
Hold on, I'm looking. Where's the help? There's the help. Randomized range. There we go. Boom. Got it. Done. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
I think I can sort these by this column. Sort sheet A to Z. Nope. Well, that just re-randomized it. Okay, that's all right. Here we go. The first entrant into the often unlikely Royal Rumble, Kazuchika Okada. I feel like he could go the limit. I mean, before we get too far, I think it's realistic to actually say Kazuchika Okada's in a Final Four. Would you agree?
He's definitely got the talent for it. The tough thing with him is we did put some big guys in there that he's going to have to deal with, and he's obviously going to have that
rivalry with Osprey that's current.
And a target on his back from the beginning because he's the outsider. So,
yeah. Number 2 entrant into this is one John Morrison.
He'll be there long enough to do at least one miraculous save and then get unceremoniously eliminated later. I'm gonna do my rant that I do every year at the Royal Rumble. One of these times, you're going to have the guy who does the miraculous save actually win.
Yes.
You've
had him fail. You've had him fail at the miraculous save. But there does need to be a time where they actually win.
Yes. Because so often, 90% of the time, in fact, I'm willing to predict it happens this week, right? There's going to be someone, maybe Kofi. He's the most likely one. Catanzaro and the girls, if she ends up being in it.
It might not be Kofi, because they do have Reggie right now.
Yeah, Reggie is another good option, yes. They're going to do some miraculous thing that stops them from getting eliminated. They're going to get back in the ring, and less than 2 minutes later, they are just going to get unceremoniously booted out. So, that's my prediction. Anyways.
So, I think the high point for me right now, and that these two are in the ring, is we're going to get at least 60 seconds of what would be a banger match by itself.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a really big plus to this too. I feel like this is a really great way to start here. Number 3 on this, I feel like there's only one way to introduce how this person is going to come out, and that is, let me in. Bray Wyatt is back at number 3, which probably means he's not finishing it. But he's probably not finishing it because he has a feud with Braun, and Braun throws him out. And there's an existing long-term feud there that really plays very, very well. So he could go fairly far into this, depending on where Braun's at. Number 4, which I can see and you can't, which is great. Number 4, I am so excited for these first 4 that I have to admit I kind of wish. I kind of wish this was actually happening, because at number 4 we have Jeff Hardy. So we've got some flip-de-doos. We've got one of the most talented wrestlers in the world. We've got one of the most over wrestlers of 2020 and the most over wrestler of 2019 in this already. So this is pretty cool. I said over. I didn't say best wrestler of 2019 or 2020. It's the most over. In number 5 position, we have The Rock. And at number 6, we have Will Osprey. So at this juncture, we have 2 of the best wrestlers in the world. A guy who is one of the better performers in the world. A guy who does some great flip-de-doos. And probably Will Osprey, well, two guys that do great flip-to-doos, in Morrison and Hardy, who've had rivalries, and Osprey is literally in the ring with two guys that he looks up to and says, those were guys I wanted to model myself after.
And even more than that, you've got two guys in the ring who have solid WWE ties, and two guys in the ring who don't.
Yes. So we've got some pretty decent rivalry. Randomness does tend to work out pretty well for us here. So that's number 6. Number 7 is Moose. I think there's an entire WWE audience that gets exposed to a person they've never even thought of seeing at this point.
Well, and this sets up actually a really good thing that would happen here is Moose facing off with The Rock.
Yes, face to face, making The Rock look tiny.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily weak, because The Rock's probably a little more stacked than Moose, but look tiny. Number 8, we've got Devon Dudley,
who sets up a table on the outside on his way.
Yeah, almost immediately. Yeah, like number 9, you have Rockstar Spud, who comes in, stands on said table, and does the pose for like 30 seconds.
While a version of Living on a Prayer that's been heavily modified to not infringe copyrights plays.
Correct. And at this point, I think we can probably eliminate a wrestler. But we'll do a few eliminations at number 10. And at number 10, we have Joey Janella. So in the first 10, again, we have Suzuki Okada, followed by John Morrison, followed by Bray Wyatt, followed by, who was number 4, Jeff Hardy, number 5, The Rock, Will Osprey, Moose, Devon Dudley, Rockstar Spud, and then coming in the 10th spot is Joey Janela with his bag of Legos. At this juncture, who can we take 2 of them out? Can we say a couple of them are eliminated? I think once Moose gets in, there has to be 3 or 4 maybe to do.
Yeah,
I would say Jeff Hardy's probably out by this point.
Yeah, Jeff Hardy probably goes out fairly fast, to be perfectly honest. Rockstar Spud, as much as I love him,
is an early elimination when he gets in.
Yeah, Royal Rumble's not a good position for him. So,
but I do think that he's the type of guy, especially in that character, that Rockstar Spud character, to roll in the ring, get up, run across the ring, realize he's in hell, get out of the ring, go hide.
Possibly.
So there's a maybe there.
So there's a chance he's a false elimination.
Yeah.
But we'll hold on to that in our back pocket.
So I would say Jeff Hardy's out. The Rock, being in the movies that he's in, I think that face-off with Moose is where you sell Moose as the future of it.
100% agree.
And The Rock is out at this juncture. And I know there's people out there going, what? How do you get rid of The Rock that quickly? It's not on purpose. You have him jaw jack with Bray Wyatt a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, here's the deal. He can be jaw jacking with, he has the face off with Moose, then he goes off and he's fighting with someone, and Moose comes and just clotheslines him over the top rope.
Yeah.
I
just think that there's some of these older guys you got to get rid of fairly quickly. We want to keep Devon in until Bubba Ray, so he's saved by the fact that Bubba Ray's not in yet. At number 11, Johnny Gargano comes into the ring, dressed as Johnny Football in a Johnny Football jersey. How fun would that be? Number 12, got to find it on the list here. This is car crash in the background. We have ba-da-da, ba-da, ba-da-da. Mick Foley, Mankind, come down to the ring. I think actually, if The Rock is eliminated before 10, have him kind of sit there, as I can't believe I'm eliminated. I can't believe I'm eliminated. If you're gonna have Mick Foley that soon come out, I think you can easily have The Rock, like, take off his boot and hand Mick Foley his sock, and have it be a Mr. Sacco sock. Just to throw that little homage there, that wink, wink.
Yeah.
So, number 12. Oh, that was 12. Number 13. Unlucky number 13 is You Have to Believe. This is great because Bray Wyatt's still in the ring, so you can have that unlikely team up of the brothers because we don't have to play kayfabe. We can play a little bit of kayfabe, but we don't have to play kayfabe here. Anything you want to do special after hearing those?
Nothing jumps out at me just yet. So.
Okay, because this is our first celebrity entrant that is a pure celebrity entrant. One Ralph Macchio at number 14, coming out in a Miyagi-Do gi. Number 15, I'm looking for it on here, and that is Deacon Batista. So now we have Devon feeling like he has a significant lead here. You could even have Devon come out as Brother Devon. Is that what he was? Brother Priest Devon?
Yeah.
Pope Devon? And Deacon Batista comes out and everybody's like, oh, we're not going to get the Dudley boys. That's sad. And they can get together and start eliminating people.
And this is a place where they could eliminate a few people. You know, I mean, I like Bo, but he's probably not going to last long.
No.
So Bo could get eliminated. Might even be a good point for a double team to eliminate one of the bigger guys.
I think Bray Wyatt can go out here. I think at a point you have to choose whether Suzuki Okada and Will Osprey are both going to go out or if they're going to stay for a while. I feel like Deacon Batista could be a really good, quick way to get rid of Ralph Macchio. But have him pull off a kick. Joey Janella, obviously.
I think you give Joey Janela one elimination. And I think he's the one who eliminates Ralph Macchio.
Okay.
I think that's a fun, humorous thing. They can be in the middle of the ring. All the people are fighting in the corners in the middle of the ring. Ralph Macchio stands there and starts to do the crane pose.
And Joey kicks him in the nuts.
And while he's up in the crane pose, Joey just unleashes the bag of Legos under his feet. So now he can't do the crane jump. And then, Joey kicks him in the nuts and throws him over the top rope.
I like it. All right, so we said 14, 15 was Deacon Batista. Number 16, Matt Cardona. Woo, woo, woo. Chelsea, 469.
Yes. And the thing is, we know if Matt Cardona comes out here, he's not going to be playing Zack Ryder. He's going to be Matt Cardona.
Matt Cardona, yes. But he might say woo, 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 just for the pop.
And he's going to be wearing his "If Cardona wins, we riot" shirt.
Number 17 is, you got to roll through them. Finally, the Dudley boys are reunited. Bubba Ray comes out, and this is where Deacon Batista gets eliminated. I think immediately Deacon Batista gets eliminated by Devon on one side, and he turns around and he points straight at Bubba Ray. Yeah! And Bubba Ray gets in, slaps him on the chest. Devon, get the tables. Devon gets out, puts another table up because the other one's been broken. God knows why. And at that point, we get he gets in, and they're like trying to figure out who it is, and he throws Bubba over and immediately eliminates him through a table.
Yep.
Number 18, Joey Chestnut.
Yeah, he's an in and out.
Yeah. Yeah.
He comes to the ring eating a hot dog. Right? And he gets in the ring and is immediately thrown out.
It kind of makes you wish you had Otis so Otis could steal the hot dog. Number 19. Scroll through here. Number 19 is Now Shit's Getting Real. Brian Cage comes into the ring. We have Wolverine. We have Moose. I really feel like Moose is the final four. And I think Okada and Osprey are our final four. I think Moose eliminating Brian Cage to create the final four is a really good move. I think we're just going to see a lot of fun stuff at that juncture.
I think Brian Cage comes in and probably eliminates one or two pretty quickly. I think this might be if we haven't eliminated Joey Janella yet, so
that's a good spot to do that.
Janella gets out.
Haven't eliminated John Morrison yet. This is a good spot for Morrison to get his I got myself back into the ring, but he ain't gonna win it. We're not gonna follow the rule that we're telling WWE they have to follow. Because we've only done it once. We've only booked one of these.
Yes.
And we're doing it right now. So,
and here's the deal: is we've still got another person in the ring who could also do something like that.
Moose.
That's something that you could see an Osprey do. Yeah.
Truth be told, you can see Suzuki Okada, Rockstar Spud do those things. You know, Matt Cardona's pretty athletic in that sense. Yeah. So Brian Myers comes in, and now there is a distinct advantage for Matt Cardona and Brian Myers, especially considering Devon made that foolish move of getting rid of his two partners, one of which is a 6-time former world champion, the other of which he's been a 77-time tag champion with. And I think this is where Devon goes out because Matt Cardona and Brian Myers.
Yep.
Number 21 is Triple H. This, because of health reasons, this has to be a fast elimination.
Yep.
The Rock is already out. I also think there's something to be said for, since he's an authority figure, and so many of these are fired former WWE guys, they can point their finger at Triple H. We know it wasn't Triple H. None of us think that Triple H got rid of all these guys.
In fact,
Spud could organize this.
I think this could be a moment where a bunch of people get together. So here's how it goes. Triple H comes down to the ring. He's got his water in hand. He gets to the side. He takes a drink, climbs up, does the spit up, turns around, takes 1 step through the rope, 2 steps through the rope, and then Brian Myers, Matt Cardona, Rockstar Spud,
Sami Callihan.
Sami Callihan, maybe. Callahan's not in yet, though, I don't think.
No, he's not. No.
But no. So
Bray Wyatt, if he's still in.
Bray Wyatt, because I don't think we had him eliminated. So Bray Wyatt.
Gargano.
Johnny Gargano, yep, 5. If we haven't fully eliminated John Morrison, that's 6.
John Morrison, yeah,
so
6.
So all 6 of those people are just standing there as he steps into the ring. And they just converge on him.
Guys, it was Vince. And I mean, have it mic'd up. It was Vince. It wasn't me.
Yep.
It wasn't me. I just had heart surgery, man.
Yep. And they converge on him and just all together lift him up, throw him out.
Yep.
And then pretty much immediately turn on each other because, you know.
Because we were pissed, but we don't like each other either. So number 22, you're excited. Danhausen. I don't even know where you want to go with Danhausen.
He's not going to be in long.
Okay.
He might try to bribe a few people, but no, he's going to get out pretty quickly. It's more for the entry and he does tequila on the thing, and then like the tequila dance, not the. He doesn't actually. I mean, he might actually do tequila, but anyways.
Number 23, Jonathan Gresham. I feel like this is an introduction to the world moment. I really do. I feel like this is 3 or 4 eliminations. If Moose isn't the one eliminating Brian Cage, Jonathan Gresham can be. Like, show off that strength, show off that power, and eliminate somebody big. And Moose is getting tired. Maybe Moose is eliminated at this point. I don't know. He's a big dude, but he is a big dude who can do an hour-long match if he wants to. So, 24. Number 24. Sami Callihan. Well, you can't eliminate Moose yet because that jaw jacking is worth it, as we've seen before. So, number 25. Peter Dinklage.
I was going to say, Peter Dinklage has to be coming here soon. He's a quick elimination, too.
Yes. Yep. That's a fun one for Rockstar Spud to quickly roll into the ring and be like, "Ha! I'm bigger than you."
In fact, Rockstar Spud and him in the ring. He is proud that he's bigger than them, and then they both get eliminated at the same time by either Brian Cage or Moose. Just a big guy. Just
Jonathan Gresham works fine for that too. He's a short dude, but
I like the reason I think Moose is really big and big enough that he could pick both of them up, one in each hand, and clear the top rope.
And
you know,
he could even do it gently, just like here you go.
Yeah.
Number 26. This is a life changer here. Cody Rhodes. I almost want Triple H to come out, realize the ring is filled with guys he's fired or that have been fired by WWE. Cody Rhodes comes out, and that's when Triple H is like, "Well, I'm getting in," not thinking about the fact that all these other guys.
I think this is where instead you play on the fact that Triple H is still a heel. And he's been eliminated already, but he hasn't left ringside. And Cody Rhodes gets in, and he immediately gets up and jaw jacking with Cody Rhodes on the thing and pulls Cody Rhodes over and out.
I like it. I like it a lot. Number 27. This is the lucky one. This is one more than any other, except for number 30, which is one less. You're going to hate this. 27 will not be winning this Royal Rumble. Jeff Jarrett.
Correct. 27 will not be winning this Royal Rumble.
Number 28. This is an oh shit moment for a lot of very tired people because a fresh Braun Strowman is headed to the ring. I would oh shit myself too for this.
Yes. This is where we can finally clean house of a bunch of the littler guys and get down to, final 6-ish.
Yes. Especially considering the next one that comes in, you're going to need a Braun Strowman still in there to get rid of him if you're going to clear out a bunch of guys, because the next one is Mark Henry. And I want to be specific. It's Hall of Pain Mark Henry. Definitely the best character he played. One of the most entertaining versions of that. And then lucky number 30, the very last entrant into the Royal Rumble is... Do you remember who it is? We have a woman entering at number 30.
Jordan Grace comes in at number 30.
Jordan Grace coming in at number 30. I wouldn't mind seeing Jordan Grace eliminate Jonathan Gresham.
That would be a fun little thing.
Surely for entertainment purposes, yeah.
Well, that's the deal.
And then he climbs up on the ring apron, gives her a kiss, and lets her back to work.
I would also love to see this be Jordan Grace eliminates one of the big men. This could be Jordan Grace eliminating Braun Strowman.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm okay with that. And not in great Khali fashion. Jordan Grace puts Braun Strowman on her shoulders and flips him out of the ring.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. So, final four, we know the order there roughly. If you have questions, you can certainly ask again. I humbly feel like if you're going to have between Kazuchika Okada and Will Osprey in the final two, I think Osprey has to be the one.
Okay.
In the final four. So I'm going to keep Osprey makes it to the final four. You got anybody in particular you want in that final four? I don't mind if Jordan Grace is in that final four.
I think we keep Jordan Grace in the final four.
Okay.
I think Osprey, Jordan Grace,
Moose.
That fourth one's the tougher one. I don't know if we want to do Brian Cage.
No, I feel like it's Matt Cardona.
Very, very likely. In fact, nope, it's Matt Cardona. It is 100% Matt Cardona. Because Matt Cardona doesn't go anywhere without his wife, Chelsea Green.
Who's in a current feud in multiple organizations with Jordan Grace. So she comes in, interferes. Final three is now Matt Cardona, Will Ospreay,
and Moose.
Mm-hmm. I think this is where Matt Cardona's fucked. I think he's too busy jaw-jacking. Ha, we got you, ha! It's great. It's entertaining. He's very good at what he does, and you will fucking hate him if you see him this way and you haven't seen him this way before. But I think that this is where we get Will Ospreay versus Moose, which is a match I never would have made in my own head, but I love that it's how it finishes here. Mm-hmm. And this is I was going to make this statement earlier when we said the guy who luckily saves himself wins the Royal Rumble. That actually happened in 1995. Shawn Michaels over British Bulldog. He was the first one to flip himself back over the ropes.
Yeah, that's a skin the cat, and I don't think that's quite the same as the Miraculous.
I understand.
The Miraculous that we're seeing now are like all the way out to the ground.
My feet didn't touch, and I kept them in the air.
Kept it in the air, you know.
The New Day put pancakes on the ground for me.
The pancakes, or even the other one where he landed on Big E's shoulders and Big E walked him around, or the one with Morrison, and I think Kofi did it later, where they walked on the barricade and then jumped, or the handstand that Kofi did.
The Casey Catanzaro flip up.
Mm-hmm. Those things there, I don't quite count the skin the cat, because the skin the cat's a actually relatively common move that even The Rock has done. But with Osprey, you could do another one of those crazy.
Maybe this is the time to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you have Moose get Osprey over the top rope. They're both there. And he's so mad that he can't get him knocked down that he just does a backhand swing and he knocks him so far off that he lands on the railing. Mm-hmm. And Moose cockily, arrogantly gets back into the ring.
Mm-hmm. Starts celebrating.
Doesn't
even watch to see where he lands. Just starts celebrating.
I hit him so hard I know he's been knocked off. And this is probably Osprey's moment.
Mm-hmm.
I say Osprey could win this.
I give it to Osprey. Boom.
Osprey, the often unlikely Royal Rumble champion. That was fun. Because this is definitely not happening.
Yes. Okay.
So JLB, you missed a fun one. I can see you watching there on Twitch. He's not the one watching on Twitch.
He is not.
We can actually see who you are.
Yep.
Unless he's Flower Power 722.
He is not.
Okay.
So my challenge, this was going to be another one similar to yours that would go back and forth, but I think it's one that actually you can do because it's not as in depth, but. We've got the Royal Rumble coming up. We had War Games not too long ago on NXT. What we haven't had is a second round of AEW Blood and Guts. And considering that WWE's big complaint right now was against AEW is their recent gory women's match.
How dare they?
What better time for AEW to have a special event pay-per-view featuring both a men and a women's blood and guts match? So I want you to book the AEW women's blood and guts match. Now, to remind you of the blood and guts rules, they're very similar to War Games, but they're slightly different. Double ring cage, right? So like that. There is a roof on the cage. That's an important difference. Unlike
War
NXT.
Games in a cell.
Yes. 2 men start off, and they've got a 5-minute round, and then every 2 minutes after another participant enters, similar to War Games, right? Match officially begins after all 10 people are in the cage. The winning team is determined by making any opponent submit or surrender. That's the big difference. Pinfalls do not count. Submission only.
Okay.
So it is 2 5-person teams.
2 5-person teams. I have to look up the AEW women's roster. I've looked up before, but I have to have 10 that I think go as a team.
Yeah, well, two 5s that go as teams. Yes. Now I will give you at least one little bit of leeway. For the women's
Marco
roster,
Stunt is still listed as an AEW wrestler.
I don't think his contract is up yet, but I think it's up soon. So, but what I was going to say is, I am going to allow appearances by Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling,
Impact.
Impact, yes.
Okay.
If you want to.
Okay.
But the current women's roster, 8, 10, 12, 14,
There's enough.
16, 18, 20, 22, 24 women currently on the AEW women's roster.
All right, so I think the obvious first move to this, the one who can draw the most eyes and create a unified opposition, is Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, Jamie Hayter, and Rebel are going to be on a team. At that juncture, they are going to be enlisting some assistance. And so I am going to say that legit Layla Hirsch is looking for a place to be in this world. And I think that she's shown that recently. I don't want to do legit Layla Hirsch. I'm going to do Bunny and Penelope Ford. They're also heels. I just think you have a super heel faction there. What are your thoughts?
No, it always works if you have a super heel faction, so it makes sense.
For the other faction, I'm going to have, obviously, there's a united front against Britt Baker in Ty Conti, Thunder Rosa, and Anna Jay right now. They would enlist some help. They're going to go to Chris Statlander, who is a united front in anti. God dang, this might be easier than I thought. Chris Statlander and Ruby Soho. I think they might even be building to this.
Quite possibly.
That's crazy.
So how would it go down?
How would it go down? Well, obviously, Britt Baker is going to make sure that she's the fresh one. The person who's going to start for her team is going to be Rebel. The person that's going to start for The other team is going to be Chris Statlander. And they're going to have those philosophies. One's going to approach with the philosophy of have your best fresh, and the good guys are going to have the philosophy of beat the crap out of everybody as they come in, because we have to beat the crap out of everybody to be able to get them in, so that we have an advantage once everybody's in. But that advantage is going to quickly disappear as Jamie Hayter will be the second one to go into the ring. And you will have Rebel and Jamie Hayter versus Chris Statlander. Coming in to help Chris get some survival, some room to breathe, will be... what'll happen is they'll open the cage and every one of them will want to come out. And the one that will sneak out will be Ty Conti. She'll be the one who gets out first. She'll have, her existing feud with Rebel and Jamie Hayter, and just really want to be in there helping out. From there, Britt Baker's going to send Penelope Ford out. And then again, Ruby Soho is going to come out quickly. No, it would be Anna Jay if Ty Conti's already out. Anna Jay will go out there and say, that's my best friend. And so she'll get out there and go out there. Then it will be, obviously, Britt Baker is going to send Bunny out, because Britt Baker's going to be the last one in. You save your best for last. And at that point, Ruby Soho will come out. Finally, we get Britt Baker, and for Team Good Guys, Thunder Rosa comes out. Because of the order in which they came in, you really don't have a distinct advantage that shows up there. But what you do have is, as soon as the cage gets locked, you have a Serena Deeb come in and start throwing in weapons. So even though she's not in the match, Serena Deeb really wants to see all of these people die, because she's psychotic, and it's a wonderful character. So the weapons obviously favor Britt Baker DMD's team. Also, the fact that it's a submission match favors Britt Baker DMD's team. I'm going to say Britt Baker actually gets the win. The bad guys get the win with Britt Baker getting the win. They just managed to keep everybody else busy enough that she can. Who do I want her to put it on, though? She puts it on. I'm going to say Ruby Taps for the first time in her career, or in AEW.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, you're right. This very well might be where they're going for. I feel it's very, very likely that AEW has a blood and guts match waiting in the wings
For women's.
And whether it's a women's match or not yet, I don't know. But they it's too good of a concept for them to not.
They've got faction warfare down pat right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so much so that we have 3 factions that we just talked about, and 2 people that are feuding with 2 of those separate factions that are pals that aren't really in a faction, in Ruby Soho and Chris Statlander. They're in Statlander's in a faction, just not a women's faction.
Yeah.
And both of those, all of those people are feuding in a faction, but not against the bad guys. Like, bad guys aren't against bad guys, and good guys aren't against good guys. And so you really do have the 5-person faction set up already. Surprisingly, I really think this might actually be right around the corner, which is a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
So
When was the last Blood and Guts? Let's find out. Because I know it was originally supposed to be about this time, but then the pandemic came. When was it? Because it ended up getting pushed off. And it ended up going May 5th of 2021. So let's say early May of this year. That's only a few months away. Right? 4 months? They could be building towards that. Definitely. But, anyways.
Sorry, my other chair was hurting my ass and making too much noise.
No, I hear that. Chairs are a bitch. But on that note, we're going to probably end up ending this earlier than we normally do, just because it's just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
We could keep this going and just babble on for a while, but
we absolutely could.
We 100% could.
I could even bring up. Should be done in this voice.
We might do that. I could bring up the fact that news has just broke that Nick Khan has confirmed that WWE has fielded calls from companies interested in buying the WWE. But they are not currently in active talks.
Not until after WrestleMania, and they can get all that money from that shit, bitch.
Gotta get those ducats. So they can buy lots of sweaty balls.
Damn it, I was gonna say sweaty balls first.
You'll never beat me to the sweaty balls. I go to the sweaty balls right off the bat.
I wake up with sweaty balls.
I go to sleep with sweaty balls.
I have sweaty balls in my mouth at all times.
Mm. Nothing like putting some sweaty balls in your mouth. Anyways, we will go ahead and move on to our game. It's our game that we play. Oh, this is full of games, I guess, this show. But the game we play is pick or pass. Normally when we have 3 people, it's a little kind of crazier. But with just 2 people, it's a little fun. I'm going to say this is going to be a women's edition of pick or pass.
That sounds fun.
It does sound lots of fun. The rules of pick or pass are simple. We're going to start off with 2 wrestlers. I'm going to name him. He's going to pick which one he keeps and which one he passes back to me. Then he adds one, so there are 2 wrestlers at all time. And we're going to go back and forth until one person has lost the pick or pass. And usually that means we've come to a place where there's someone that neither of us want multiple rounds in a row. So we are going to start off with 2 wrestlers that were just in the Blood and Guts match that you booked. We're going to talk with Ruby Soho and Britt Baker. Pick or pass?
I'll take Britt Baker for 300.
The answer is who you picked over Ruby Soho.
Ding, 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 ding. Ruby Soho or Chris Statlander.
Oh, man, you gotta be mean to me. Chris Statlander. Ruby Soho or Ty Conti.
Hold on, gotta check on my sweaty balls.
When I add Ty Conti to the list, the balls get sweatier.
Ty Conti. She's great with sweaty balls.
Allegedly.
She's from Brazil. Lots of sweaty balls in Brazil.
It does get hot down there.
Ruby Soho or Abaddon?
Ruby Soho. Abaddon or Bianca Belair.
All right, side note, is anybody else getting a little tired? Like, the EST gimmick only works for so long.
The EST gimmick is meant to be a heel gimmick.
Maybe that's what it is.
It's the cocky, I'm better. It's MJF in a form. I'm better than you. I am the EST. And then I get it. She's really popular. You make her a face, but face gimmicks can't be bragging about how they're better than other people. Face gimmicks have to, by inherent.
So I'm not the only one who's going. I loved it. Can you be something different for a little bit?
That's where the problem is, putting her in a feud with the heel now. What they need to do is have her turn heel on Becky Lynch. Right? Like in the match, cheat to win against Becky Lynch.
Yeah. I just... I'm
and
not
then
saying
she can
Becky
come out
has
and
to
be like,
face.
She can come out and be like, yeah, Becky doesn't turn face with this. It's not a double turn. Becky's still a heel. But Bianca Belair can come out and say, I told you I was the EST, strongest, fastest, smartest. Yep.
That works. Man, I'm about to pick Abaddon over Bianca Belair because I'm bored with Bianca Belair. Not because she's not great, but Abaddon never bores you. She makes you go, what the fuck, a lot, but she never bores you. You're never bored watching Abaddon. So, in a normal voice, because my balls will not be sweaty here, Abaddon.
That's Bianca Belair to you against Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch. Bianca Belair. Or Sasha Banks.
Sasha Banks right now or Bianca Belair right now?
Both right now.
Sasha Banks isn't wrestling right now.
She's still a wrestler. She's just out with a minor injury. She'll be back. It's fine.
Okay, then Sasha Banks.
Okay.
Sasha Bear.
Sasha Bear. Not wearing
Sweaty Balls and Sasha Bear and Snoop Doggy Dogg.
You would call them Schwizzetti balls.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Sweaty balls and stuff. Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley.
Mostly because I can't have Bianca Belair go out like a bitch. At the end, I'm going to choose Bianca Belair here. So that gives you Rhea Ripley or Jordynne Grace.
Jordynne Grace. Rhea Ripley or Ty Conti. Wait, we already said Ty. Anna Jay.
Rhea Ripley. Anna Jay or Alexa Bliss.
Motherfucker. Alexa Bliss. Anna Jay or Jade Cargill.
You son of a bitch. Anna Jay. But I don't like it. Jade Cargill or Rosemary.
Is that even really a question?
I'm
not JLB. I'm not going to sit here and go, okay.
Jade Cargill, Rosemary, or Rebel.
Rosemary. Rebel or
that might be the down point of the match.
This might be the end here. Rebel or Gigi Dolan.
That's tough. That's a lot tougher than I thought it would be. You said it, and I thought I leaned in. I was like, this is it. Is it? Is Rebel good enough? Is Gigi Dolan established enough?
These are indeed the questions.
Those are the exact two questions. I think Gigi Dolan is enough in the long run. She's learning from Mandy Rose, who out of nowhere is showing off a very good promo skill. I don't know that I've seen enough from Rebel learning from one of the best right now to think that her ceiling's higher than Gigi Dolan. So I'm going to say, based on the ceiling,
Gigi Dolan. Rebel or Jamie Hayter?
Jamie Hayter.
Boy, you gotta be a hater to Rebel.
Well, the thing is, I'm not a hater to Rebel. The problem is her current character is not a wrestler, even though she has a history as a wrestler. Rebel or Julia Hart.
Who the fuck is Julia Hart?
She's the girl who comes out with the Varsity Blonde, who Malachi Black's with the stuff in her face.
Yeah. Not enough developed there yet, so I'm going to go ahead and go with Rebel. Julia Hart. I'm going to put this bitch to bed. You ready? Julia Hart or Brandy Rhodes?
It looks like I'm taking Julia Hart. Brandy Rhodes or Nia Jax?
Nia Jax is not currently a wrestler.
She still is a wrestler, current or not.
My wrestling sweaty balls are not sweaty at all for this match. Unfortunately, Brandy Rhodes will go down to an injury. I'm taking one Nia Jax.
Very interesting.
Brandy Rhodes or Stephanie McMahon?
Brandy Rhodes.
ooh,
Stephanie McMahon or Dixie Carter?
Did you see Dixon Cider? That flavor of sweaty ball is fantastic.
It is, but I did indeed say Dixie Carter.
Dixie Carter, okay. Stephanie McMahon or Dixie Carter, I'm going to choose the woman who created women. Stephanie McMahon. Dixie Carter or Sable. Don't make Brock kill you.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is you do have to say Sable in this situation. Because Dixie Carter is not a trained wrestler in any way, and Sable is slightly trained.
Somewhat trained.
Sort of trained. She's had a class or two. Or one. Half class. It was a seminar. On the phone. Dixie Carter or Stacy Keibler?
Stacy Keibler. Dixie Carter or Miss Elizabeth.
Miss Elizabeth. Dixie Carter or Santina Marella?
I am the member of the podcast with conservative values. I'm going to go against those conservative values and choose Santina Marella. So for our last one, Dixie Carter or the girl that sings Girls Just Want to Have Fun, Cyndi Lauper.
That's going to be Cyndi Lauper. So that is it. The odd woman out is Dixie Carter. It deteriorated. Game deteriorated, but it was still fun. So that is going to bring us to the end of the Fantasy Booking Institute. We would like to thank anyone who joined us on the live stream, anyone who is watching this on replay, or even just listening to this on the podcast version. You can find all the places to watch, listen to this, all the places to support us, and links in the doobly-doos. But the easiest ways to support us is to follow us on social media. You can follow me on pretty much any of them at Raw and Order WBU. That's the username on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Only place you have to put something else in is Facebook. It's at Pissant Podcast, just like you see on the hat there. But yeah, you can follow me in all of those places. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you consume it at. It's a great way to support us, and sharing it is the best way to support us because it gets it out there to other people. You can follow D.A. Fabe at
There we go. Fabe.
Yep. On Twitter. And Twitter
on
only.
Twitter and Twitter only. That's all I got. Sorry, Dixie. Boy, our Dixie wrecked.
But I'm ching. But on that note, we are going to go ahead and close the book on the Fantasy Booking Institute.
Dixie wrecked.
We would like to thank you all for listening. We will see you soon.
You get it?